All right, everybody, so welcome back. So founder and managing director of Nysus Geriatric Company, Arlene Nysus, joins us this morning to talk about the importance of quality geriatric care and how her organization is helping families better support their elderly loved ones. Arlene, it's always good to see and speak with you. Thank you very much for coming this morning.
Thank you for having me. Good morning to everyone.
So you do have some interesting and exciting news for us, but what's the message this morning?
So this morning we are turning 10 this year. Not today, but we turn 10 on March 3rd, 2026, and we are doing a 10th anniversary promotion. So the objective is to give back. And even though we're a micro company, we try to give back as much as we can. So the theme for our promotion this year is giving away 3 food vouchers to 3 elderly persons in need. Because there are many persons out there, they don't have the support, their family abroad, you know, they don't have children at home, anyone at home. And so we want to make sure that we can help as much as we can.
All right, so how can people get these vouchers?
Okay, great. So
what do they have to do,
yes.
Ali?
So the promotion is you post a video online, a minute or less, saying why this person deserves this voucher, but please do not put their image in it unless they give you explicit permission to put the image, right? Then you post it on either Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Tag us in it, and also you can do the same video can be posted on the 3 different platforms, and we're looking at the total impressions. So how many likes, shares, comments, views, it's all cumulated. And the top 3, they are eligible, your nominee is eligible to win this prize. And we want to get as many persons involved because you may know a neighbor who needs it, you may know somebody who needs it. We need to get this message across as much as possible, you know. So, and we are always willing to collaborate if anyone wants to up the voucher, because it's $500 voucher, so it's a total of $1,500. But if anyone wants to get involved, if any other business or company or organization wants to get involved, we would be glad to get you all involved in this.
Yeah, we do have your contact number, well, information up there.
Yes, on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere. Nice Us Geriatric, NICE Us Geriatric.
Let's talk a little bit about the period of time that people do have to send their contributions.
Right, so it ran from the 27th of March and ends the 29th of April. And this promotion is approved by the NLCB. So we're encouraging persons as much as possible, you know, let us know who are the persons that need this video. And you don't have the video, it could be like a slideshow, it could be AI generated, it could be anything. Once it is something 1 minute or less, so it could be 12 seconds, 10 seconds. Once you get that message across and get persons to share it, like it, we want as much persons involved because I want to really touch as many persons as I can with this.
Yeah. So you all have been in this business for about 10 years
10
now.
Years, yes, 10 years.
Let's look a little bit about the industry on a whole, Arlene, because you do have this experience here. And I think that sometimes when we do look at elderly care in Trinidad and Tobago, we do still see a lot of horrible things. Give us a sort of synopsis as to how do you see things in the industry? What have been the challenges? Is there need for more to be done as it relates to standards and the way that the elderly are treated in Trinidad and Tobago? She's rubbing her hands. This is going to be interesting, everybody. Go ahead.
Yes, very interesting. So I have always been an advocate for elder care since I worked in San Fernando General Hospital back in 2016. There are limitations to how best you can handle this because of the lack of support where our leadership is concerned, and I want to be very careful with what I say. But the Home for the Older Persons Act has been there since, 2000, a few years now, I can't remember, and it is not law as yet. And we need that as law because we need some kind of benchmark as to how we're going to do elder care. And I tell everyone, you either die young or you grow old. And in this era we're living in, you're lucky to grow old. So paving the way for elderly people now means having a good future for yourself. You are the ones to benefit. So we need to crack down on it. My company was selected, I will say, my company was selected as part of IDB's initiative. It's called the Silver Region Accelerator Program. So out of 600 plus applicants, Nysus Geriatric made it to the acceleration program. It's focused on creating better standards for persons in the healthcare industry across Latin America and the Caribbean. It's one of the ways in which, because the silver economy, which we call it, is a growing economy. And in Trinidad and Tobago, we have 13% of our population are elderly persons, and that's projected to reach 25% by 2030. You know, it's something that we are an aging population, and we need to pay attention to this. And what is required is better standards. We have to have empathy. We have to humanize the whole service, because I think so many people misunderstand the elderly. Oh, you're miserable. Oh, this, oh, that. No, take it from a perspective of why do they have certain symptoms and characteristics. It's because they are not at the level where they were when you know, at my age. I mean, I love brushing my own teeth. I love bathing. I don't want somebody to do that. But at some point in time, you reach to that level because your physical capabilities will not allow you to. Mm-hmm. So we now have to have empathy in this whole service to understand that the way forward, think about how you want to be treated. Think about how you want to be as an elderly person, to keep your independence, to keep that self-esteem, and now apply it to the persons who are here now. Make it culture. Elder perception should be a culture of we value, we cherish, and we respect the elderly. Even if you look at it from a selfish perspective, that you are going to be there one day, so let's implement it now. And it starts with the empathy, and it goes on with legislation, standardization, and accountability. And then we as the people need to demand that hey, let's love the elderly. Let's cherish them now. So when I get old, I could get it too, because it's already, you know, a culture. It's already ingrained in what we do.
You know, sometimes my impression of things is that, and I'm sure that I am right, because I'm sure, I don't know what the process is, but sometimes I get the impression that some people have taken it upon themselves to just get up one morning and say, you know what, I'm going to open one of these homes. And I'm going to ask my friends and ask my neighbors and so on, if you do have an elderly person in your home, well, I have a home now. So again, getting back to the standards, because again, over the years, we have seen really, and these are my words, horror stories about the way that the elderly is being treated. And that has to be, I suspect, a concern for everybody.
It is, and unfortunately, that is sometimes the case. Sometimes it is not, but sometimes it is, because there's no governing body, there's no organization that really dictates who can start the facility. So it can be started with just registering your business. Right. In the interim, yes, Ministry of Health follows up on the private hospital follow-up, but in the absence of the Home for Older Persons Act, which allows registration of the home before you actually open it, some persons can open it and then follow up with the Ministry of Health for continuing. But we need something in place where you have to register with an entity first to get guidance on how to open up, because in the Home for Older Persons Act, it literally tells you step by step how to open a home. And then some persons now thinking, oh, it's a money-making thing. I can just take a house and convert it into a home. And then later on now, when the Ministry of Health crack down on you and they come down and say, no, you can't do that. You have to do X, Y, Z. You have to have your muster point. You have to have this. You have to have wheelchair access. And then I'm like, oh. But then that time period that has passed, persons have already entered the home. Persons have already endured the lack of standards. And now you have persons suffering for no reason. So if you have the Home for Older Persons Act, which it dictates certain things, certain standards, you can get from the get-go that the elderly person gets these standards. And from looking at the forest versus the tree, the older person going into the home, experiencing that, it is I who have to suffer while the heads think, what are we going to do? Or they ignore the whole topic altogether because it's not bothering them.
But there has to be, just my view again, that there has to be constant monitoring of homes.
Yeah, it has to be.
Is that the case? Or is it that you have to wait until some report is made, then you have the authorities jumping into action and visiting the homes? Or is it that the authorities have to visit your homes, let's say, once per month or once per 2 months? I don't know what's the situation.
I don't know the regularity of visits. I don't know the procedure of the visits.
You see? All right. I know you didn't think you had to answer so many questions this morning.
I anticipated it because I know
But you have been around in the industry for a while, so
I
want to know, I just want to know what are your views as to the way that the industry is run, because again, it's a specialized area. Not everybody has the temperament, has the empathy to deal with these situations.
And another thing is that sometimes you have someone opening a nursing home and they have good intentions, but they don't have the finances in order to run it efficiently. So you have the meals are compromised, you have the salaries of the workers are compromised, even the workers themselves, the workload is compromised. And it's not only, and I just want to be fair, it's not only the nursing home, but also with the home care agencies. You have persons who sometimes don't pay NIS for the workers, you know, these certain things. So and I would welcome standardization, I would welcome some kind of body, and you can make money off of it, you know. If the government watching, you can make money off of it. You understand? There are more than 200 nursing homes in Trinidad and Tobago, unregularized, unregistered. If you look at the statistics, because I recently finished my master's degree and I had to go and get the statistics. If you look at the statistics, it is there. There are so many unregistered with the Ministry of Health. So many nursing homes popping up, and then only when a problem comes in, then, you know, it's on the radar. I've spoken to one of the inspectors there. I'm not going to go into details in that, but we have to get away from systems that rely on human judgment and try to get it more focused on quality care, especially for the elderly, because let me tell you, one of these days your relatives is going to be in that position, and you would not want that. You would not want that for your mother or your father or someone who is dear to you. So it is critical as well. I think that we have ignored it for too long. We have ignored it for too long, and time waits on no one. So there is a need for change. You analyze the situation, you go on the floor, you get to understand what is what. You apply in international or industry benchmark standards. It is not something isolated all over the world. We have this issue of an aging population all over the world. They are finding solutions. There's help out there. We could go out there and make it happen. But the elderly, it's not a glamorous industry. You know, most of these, for instance, I'm surprised they had an acceleration program like this. Most of the times it's digital this or solar that. The elderly is not glamorous in the eyes of business. But it's something that we need to deal with because our populations are aging. And it will crawl on us and then we'll be like, oh my goodness, something is happening. And we need to keep the elderly. I want to interject as well. Too many times people think you're old and you have to stay home and cock up your foot. we need to keep more elderly persons active
Yeah,
to
and
prevent
interested.
dependency. You know, it's so that there's so much we can get from the elderly. It's not a death sentence. It's not like if you turn 70 and that's it. No, we can have so much coming out of it if we understand their perspective, if we stop thinking they're slow and they're this and they're that, if we have empathy and if we reach on their level and find out what they want.
Yeah.
What they want. Let's ask them. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
When you sit down and talk to an older person, you'll be surprised.
Yeah, Arlene, I know I took you on a drive all over the place this morning. She didn't expect that drive. But I just have about a minute or two again. Just remind our viewers what you came here this morning to discuss and what are the benefits that they can get from it.
Yes, so we are doing our 10th anniversary promotion. We are giving away 3 food vouchers to 3 elderly persons valued in total of $1,500. We ask that you post a video online, whether Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram, 1 minute or less, saying why your nominee, elderly person, 60 plus, supposed to win this voucher. The top videos that get the most shares, likes, comments, impressions all around can win, and the impressions are accumulated across each platform. You can post the same video on the different platforms, but 1 video per nominee. And tag us, follow us in all the platforms that you post. Yes.
Yeah. All right, and as I said earlier, we do have Arlene's contact information, right? So that is the contact information there. Arlene, it's always good to see and speak with you, and thank you very much for indulging me this morning, because I too am very concerned as to what I do see in the sector. So thank you, and allowing me to get your views on this. It was very important to me, and I thank you very much.
Thank
All
you
right,
for
until we
having
meet
me.
again,
Yes.
Arlene, take care. All right, everybody, so we do have this image for you. It's from Romel Naipaul. This one's The Great Kiskadee. All right. Look at the Kiskadee now. You really think he's great? Yeah, look at him. Yeah. Romel, thank you very much for that beautiful picture this morning. We do appreciate it. We're coming back, everybody.